I'm not going to support this movie. I'm not going to support Aaron. But once he says, hey,
I can't speak for every fan. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it. I'm not putting money in Aaron's pockets. Jason David Frank is gone. He's not going to make any single money off that. And here's the thing. A lot of fans are kind of with me on that now because everyone's looking at Aaron like, do we really want to support Aaron? Because now people are thinking Aaron took advantage of Jason David Frank. It is more so taking advantage of him now that he's gone, right? To the point where he even had Jason David Frank's daughter, Jenna Frank, talking about this shit with the audio stuff and saying, oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Like, Aaron's been a friend of the family for a long time. Doesn't matter. You can know somebody. Because everyone said, well, they know that he knew Jason David Frank. He knew Jason David Frank. Bro, you know how many people were cool with Nerd Talk? Nerd Talk podcast, a dude who Rican Ranger's also cool with, that Ian Connor's cool with. I hope Sir Suave is not cool with, right? You know how many people were cool with Nerd Talk? I talked to Nerd Talk podcast before, you know what I'm saying? And then we found out that he got arrested for having sex with a minor. Now we don't know that motherfucker no more. We don't talk to that motherfucker no more, right? Just because you know somebody doesn't mean you know somebody, all right? So that whole argument of, well, Aaron and Jason David Frank were best friends. That don't mean shit to me. Okay, you can have a best friend you've known since you were in fucking high school or middle school or elementary school. And now you're adults and you find out that man committed fucking murdered his entire family, burned the house down and offed himself. That don't mean shit. Just because you know somebody don't mean you know somebody. Okay? So just because Jason David Frank was friends with Aaron, maybe best friends, doesn't necessarily mean that Aaron was a good person. Maybe Jason just knew him as that, but didn't know who he really was. Okay? Doesn't mean that, just like these two things can be true. Were they best friends? That could be true. Could Aaron still be a piece of shit that fucking embezzled money? Or treated people like shit? Or bullied people in the industry? Those two things can be true. And guess what? Jason David Frank was told these things, and Jason started believing it at one point too, but he continued working with it because he was too deep in. Again, multiple things can be true, but don't sit here and say just because Aaron claims he was best friends with Jason and everybody around him saying, yeah, they were cool, they were friendly, right? Doesn't mean it's true. We don't know for a fact, and Jason sure ain't here to confirm or deny it. So we just got to go by other people's words now, don't we? I don't go by other people's words. I go by their actions. If you are Jason David Frank's best friend, you would know he would want more than nothing than this movie to be out by now.
Yeah.